Hi, I'm Eliza, and I'm talking about the opera workshop and why it's so freaking cool, because it is. Because it started off with us kind of out of the blue. Melinda was like, hey, what if we do one act of a Mozart opera, The Marriage of Figaro, which I automatically was like, ooh, am I supposed to know what that is? Because I have no idea what that is. But then we did it, and it was super awesome. And I just went into it not thinking of it as like this weird opera thing. I was like, okay, we get the chance to like play a character and like learn some really cool songs. And I felt really fancy because I was like, ooh, these songs are like complicated and they're in Italian, but I was doing the English version, but like whatever. And I didn't think of anything I was doing as being weird, except for the recitative, which was weird at first, and then once I like got the hang of it, I was like, oh, of course, it's like talking, it's like conversation singing, it's like super cool. I know so much about opera, I'm 13, and no, but it was like really cool because I did. And then we started putting it together, and I was like, oh, these are my friends who were teenagers who I know as doing like musical theater shows and doing like plays, and now I'm like watching them like do opera together and do like scenes that I wasn't in, that I got to like see people do. I was like, oh, this is a special thing. Like, look at these people, and they're like nailing this opera. They're like doing it awesome. And I was like, oh, teenagers can do this. Because before that, I was like, oh, it's like old adults with like either really, really low or really, really high voices can do opera. That's like that's who's allowed to do it. And then Melinda was like, no, you can do it. Go do it. Go sing some opera. And I was like, okay. And so then it just kept going. It just kept being a thing that we did. And it just became like a major part of what we do at Act 2 Studio. And then I kept like, I was like, oh, like I think I know opera, but really I only know like one song from The Marriage of Figaro. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. And we just like kept doing like, I kept seeing people all around the studio just doing more opera, more like classical music, and like duets showing up, and not just operas, but like operettas and like all weird, just like new things I had never heard before, and we're all of a sudden like, oh my god, this is so good. This is like shows that I'd never heard of. Like there was a time that I didn't even know what the medium was, and now it's like, oh yeah, man, it's like my favorite. So so that's we were already like at first just being introduced to new music, and then it was like, okay, now learn how to sing it. And it was like, oh, okay, sure. Like, and then I didn't really imagine, Melinda probably knew this whole time, it was our secret master plan, but all of a sudden it was like, oh, learning that classical fancy music taught me, like, all of a sudden went in my musical theater-y songs, like how to sing better there. And because of all the weird stuff we learned about like how orchestrations and the music go together to be the emotions of the song, how everything that you need is in the song, and that helped with like the emotion of your character, helped me with normal acting, just, you know, like acting, and that helped everything. And then, okay, you know those studies that are like, oh, arts help you with all of your life. That's totally true. And I don't know, just there was something about being that cool teenager kid who with your other cool teenager friends were like the opera crew who knew opera and were running around singing opera. And like when the medium happened, and I was like, I sang like two lines in the medium. I was just a sound effects person. But like, oh my god, to be like, like every time that somebody would walk by the room that we were doing the show in, and they'd be like, what's the medium? And we'd be like, it's an opera, and we're teens doing an opera, you should come see it. Like that felt so satisfying. And to get to tell, like when somebody's like, oh, what are you doing this summer? I'm in an opera. Like that's, I don't know, that's something that like no teens get to say ever. But we do, and that's so cool, because you don't get to do that at school, because schools don't think, I mean, I'm sure that they're nice, but most schools don't think that we could pull that off. Probably because maybe you couldn't, but we have these people who want to do it. We want to put on these shows and to sing these songs and to learn more about these songs, because maybe there's lots of people who come into it not knowing how to sing classical music or like any classical music. They've just never heard it. And then all of a sudden it's like, of course, like you don't need to have prior experience. Like it's so easy to be snotty about it and to be like, oh, you've never done opera before. Like, we're looking for professionals who can really do it. But Melinda was so nice, and everyone is welcomed and accepted. And she's like, oh, you want to learn the song? Of course you can. Like, come on, let's sing a song and have a fun time. And it'll help you with all these other aspects. Like, it doesn't matter if you're gonna be a professional opera singer one day. Like, you could still learn so much about not only opera, but about performing in general, and in the way that just doing a normal like show could not teach you. It's because it's opera, and it's so special, and I like that we're also bringing it to people who are coming to see it who aren't even in it, but like, you know, like your friend who's like, I don't know, I'm a little skeptical about this, like opera, like that's boring, I'm not gonna understand it. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, because we understand that people like that are coming, and so we're opening it up and we're making the shows, we're making it so you can understand what's going on. It's not in another language. It's not like it's not for snotty opera people who are going to be like, you didn't understand what happened to that scene, because that's obviously what everyone's afraid of. They're like, I'm going to feel bad because I don't understand what's happening. But don't worry, because you do understand what's happening, because we're like, we didn't know what was happening at first, and then it's like, oh, this is how we can make it so it's very clear what this character's feeling. Because if you think about it, it is very clear, because all the music, when the music is going like this, that means that the character's happy, and the music's going like that, that means the character's sad. And when you add that with, you see a person like wearing that, running around doing that, and making that face, you're like, oh, I know exactly what's going on now. It's not complicated as like most people assume that opera's going to be. It's like really enjoyable and can be hilarious and really moving, as any show could be, except like more, because it's super cool in opera. And I don't know, when I did, because in the medium I got to watch it a lot for the last show we did, because I was off to the side making sound effects, and I wasn't in it, but I got to be part of it, and I got to just watch a lot. And because we have so many spots where even if you don't want to be on stage, like we have people stage managing and people doing sound effects and lights and assistant directing. Like, there's spots for teenagers, because that's what I like about it, is that Melinda takes her teens seriously, which is like, you get a lot of people being like, you're teenagers and you're trying to like put on a show, like that's real cute. And this is a real thing, and we're being serious, and we want to do a show, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be beautiful, and like, deal with it. This year we have more like ballet coming in. That's so cool. I don't know anything about ballet, man, but I like watching it. It's really cool and pretty, and joined with like opera that's so freaking pretty. Like, every time I hear one of these songs, or like Melinda will be like, oh, okay, so we're thinking about putting this song in, and I'm like, okay, just like let me hear it. And then I listen to it and I just die. I freak out and I'm dead, because they're really good. And like, I'm all like, I bet I still have a little bit of this like, like, is it gonna be good, or is it gonna be like Italian and fancy and I'm not gonna know what's going on? But then I listen to it and I'm like, oh, okay, I know that my character is feeling this through the thing, right? And I know that, like, I don't know what this word necessarily means, but I do know what's going on, because, like, the music just did that, and the way that that character harmonized with that person obviously means that. And it's just so, it's just exciting, and I can't believe that I get the chance to do this stuff. Like, oh my god, I listen to a song and I'll be like, oh, that's the stuff that, like cool adults sing, and it's like, no, you get to do it. You're singing it with your friend. You're gonna go and like sing some cool tunes, and it's like, oh my god, no way, that's insane. I'm a teenager. Like, I wouldn't get the chance to do that anywhere else, anytime else. Like, there's so many. I like feel bad that we can't include every single teenager in the world in this, because oh my god, everyone should get the chance to do it. Like, I don't know. I want yeah, I want everyone to see it, and I want everyone to know how cool and accessible learning can be, and why I'm so excited about this. Like it's hard for me to explain sometimes to people. Like they'll be like, "Oh, what's that opera thing?" And I just start screaming because I'm excited, and then they're like, "What did you just say?" But it's really good, and I'm so excited about it that I think it'd be really cool if we could change like at least like 10 people's mind about how cool opera is and how it can relate to everything, to life now, and to people of all ages and from all types of places, because it really is just like everyone. There's something for everyone in all of the things that have happened, like that have happened, that we have made happen. Like, just, I don't know, I feel like teenagers, it can show that you can be a person who you can be taken seriously, and you can put on, and you can make something beautiful, and that's not to be laughed at. You're not like a loser teenager who's like stupid and young. It's like, no, you can get this amazing music out, and you can make people cry and laugh by being on stage and singing, not like just like little show tunes. Like, you can go and you can like freaking Mozart, you know him? Yeah, we've got teenagers doing that. like I want people to be able to see it, and I want people to know that that's possible. And I don't know how to end this video, but it's long now, so I should. Okay. Thank you if you donate. That'd be really, really cool. And like, we all appreciate that so much. Okay.